Hi everybody, Jo here. It's Monday, so welcome to another Monday Mindfulness little get together. I hope your week started well. I know I'm here first day of the week, so really hope it's going well. Sometimes it can be very busy though, can't it, Mondays? So let's just take 30 minutes or so out and let's just have some quality time and craft along together. Now, if you remember, this was the design that we created last Tuesday. So we're going to put Olivia in our journal. But what I wanted to do just before was show you. So last week in our Mindful Monday session, I created this piece. Excuse me. And as you know, I wasn't very happy with this area here. And quite often when you're journaling, that does happen. You have an area that you just don't like. And what I did was I left it, walked away, and then I came back to it. And what I added, if I can stretch across and show you, was this, stickles. And funny enough, I've only just got it from Lavinia and it's lime green. I've not had that colour before. And, I just added it and it brought the whole thing together. But also, I like that now and I'm happy with it. But the reason I wanted to show you is that don't expect to be totally in love with every page. After all, this isn't about producing a work of art that you can show everybody and you're going to love. It's about, well, sometimes it could be taking your mind off something. Sometimes it maybe could be because you've had a bad week at work and you just want to let everything go. Sometimes it might be, do you know what, you just want to create but you don't know what you want to do. It might be you've got some new ink and you want to make some ink swatches. I can't even say it, swatches. It could be about practicing. Maybe you've got a new product and you want to practice. The whole idea of art journaling is you're putting things in a book. It can be thoughts, feelings. It could be somebody sent you a card and you want to keep it, but you want to make notes about them. It's not just about creating a piece of work and then just sticking it in and saying, this is what I've made. It's more than that. And I'm hoping that's what I can show you. But anyway, so that, I just thought I'd let you know, I'm happy with that now. I wasn't at the time, and you know me, that's where I'm always honest with you. Now, I need to find somewhere, there we go. This is the background that I made cleaning up my stencil. And these are the 2 pages that are going to be perfect to pop Olivia on. But what I fancy doing today is I just fancy introducing some gilding flakes here through this stencil. So I need to do it now because we're going to use our gilding glue. And this takes 30 minutes to become tacky. So if I show you, so this is Lavinia Stamps gilding glue. I'm going to pop it on with a clean-ish, it's the cleanest one I had, little applicator. And I've got myself a spare block here. Now, the one thing I always love to do with gilding flakes is, this is my best friend. And this is my anti-static bag. And for me, whenever you're going to be touching gilding flakes or anything to do with it, anti-static bag is your friend. I have a box that I use for my gilding flakes and I anti-static the lid as well. Today, we're going to be using Jewel. I just thought the colours went. But we'll pop those over there till later. So what we'll do first, gilding glue, it's quite liquidy. Give it a good shake with the lid on. None of that tomato ketchup thing. Did that ever happen to you when you were little? How many people have you know that when you've taken the lid off and then shake? Don't do it with this because it is quite liquidy. And I'm just going to pop some. Look at that. And it's almost got a blue tinge. And then when it's ready, it'll be white. And I'm just going to pop that. Look at that. Right, that's lovely there. Going to get my page. Now my idea is I want them somewhere there. Now again, I could tape this off, but you know me, I'm not going to. And I'm just going to pop this on the stars. Now, you could use your quickie glue pen for this. You could use a brush. You just clean your applicator or your brush with warm soapy water. But I've got to be honest, with a brush I would get a more definite result. But to me, it's not the exact shape I need. It's the idea of it. So there we go. Now, I'm going to just put that there a minute. The stencil really needs to be washed, and the lid with warm soapy water. But what I've done is I've got a couple of bits of kitchen towel, which I'm going to spritz with water, and I'm going to put my applicator, my stencil, everything on the kitchen just to keep it wet. And then when we've finished, I'm just going to put that over here. When we've finished, I can go and wash that. The kitchen towel, the damp kitchen towel, will just stop that glue drying on there. So my stencil will be fine. Right, so back to Olivia. Now what I've done is I've got a orange piece of card and I've put a black Sharpie line round, and my idea is that she's going to go on there. And I'm possibly not going to add much else to that side. So it's this side that we're going to look at. Now obviously when that dries, I'm going to have my stars. But I've got a secret weapon to add to this side. Have you seen these? So we have our journal books, these Khadi, I'm not sure is that how you pronounce it, well, you can actually buy the zigzag books, and you can buy these mini ones. Look, you get 5 in a packet. Well, I needed to add these. So addictive, fabulous. So I've got one and I've just started ahead of time, only because, you know, really I want to try and keep these videos to 30 minutes, and you know me, I just waffle on for so long. So I've taken the flurry stencil that we used in the background here, and I've just added some stencil work in the same colours, front and back. And then I've just taken my paintbrush and wet the top, just because I love these runs and it adds interest. And my idea is I'm going to stick this here. Hopefully my stars are going to be there. I'm going to pop my book here. Now obviously it is going to add dimension into my journal, and that's why I have to be very careful when I'm stamping, because my journal has got dimension in it. But I am just going to, I found my mini seed head, and that just goes with the seed head that Olivia has. And I'm just going to see if we can get this stamping, just a few along the bottom in first, second and third generation. I just want to give a bit of something along this base here, a bit of interest. So we'll have a few groups. We don't want it to be all looking the same, do we? So let's have a few. There we go. I'll just move my ink and see. I'm not sure if you can see this. Now I've got a few inclusions, but I think I'm okay at the bottom. I think I can possibly get some stamping. And I just want to tie the two sides together. This is such a lovely stamp. It's just so wispy. And that will just give me, I feel, some continuity in the 2 pages. So I'm just going to put some tape. Now again, I use finger lift tape just because it's easier for me. But I also use the Bittity Boppity glue. So I'm going to move my gilding glue out of the way because they are quite similar, look, the pots. And I want to make sure I use the correct one. It's easily done, you know. Have you ever done that? We can get so sort of caught up in what we're doing. Right, so as always, I do turn the corners over. And I like to put a piece of tape across the middle on the diagonal, and it just helps to pull the card in those directions so you don't get sort of bloating in the middle. Mind you, I'm at that age, I know what bloating in the middle means. Right, so let's just pop her in the middle here. Whip those out. And then same again, and we'll put her in, I think, and then I can work on my little book. Have you done the larger zigzag books? I must admit, I'm doing a workshop on them, and oh, preparing it, I just adore them. And again, so addictive. So I couldn't wait to use the little one. I love buying new things, don't you? Especially craft things, you know, when you can't wait to use them. So let's pop her there. Whip those out. And again, I just love that along the bottom. I think that's just enough on there. So if we go over to this side. Now, I have got another matten layer just for that continuity. And then I'm going to pop that on there. Being mindful to just keep away from the glue. And I'm hoping it's going to be ready. So again, 4 corners. Now, obviously, you'll take longer than this and really enjoy playing with this. So I'm thinking if my stars are there, let's put this here. And then we'll just put this to one side. And let's have a little look at our book. What I was thinking, on the front, I've got my gorgeous journaling stencils here. And I'm thinking, let's go, oh, I do that thing over procrastinating, is it? Where you spend ages. Well, I'm just going to go for, I like her. And again, using my scissors. I just want to add a little bit of beautiful wording just around. And again, it doesn't have to be legible. There we go. I just think that it doesn't need much else on the front, does it? I'm just going to put my name in the corner with a squiggle, because do you know what? If you give this to somebody, they will love to know that this is your work. A few more little, again, don't overthink it. You know, this fine liner pen has really become my best friend. Now I like that. I don't want to overcomplicate the pages inside. Now you could add all sorts of things. You know, you could add keepsakes. I mean, do you collect stamps? Stamps would be, well, obviously not, I mean postage stamps. We all collect stamps, don't we? I could put more stickers in, but I'm thinking of adding sort of my sentiments. I like these. So we're going to have hope on here. Now you could make some little inches. So that's a little piece of artwork that's an inch in size. You could add, oh I know, got some little baubles that we used last week. Right, bear with me folks. Do you remember we made these with Rufus the fox? I told you I tend to make, but this is the thing when you're journaling, you know, you'll suddenly find, let's have a bauble hanging down here. You'll suddenly find there'll be loads of things and you'll think, oh, I could add that, I could add that. So let's just add the little bauble there. Right, I like this one as well. I'm going to cut this one up though. And we'll have love there and in the middle and light there. Oh, that's because I didn't put it on with my scissors, look. Didn't get that very straight, did I? It's better. I love the fact that with these backgrounds, you don't need a lot. As I say, you could add more if you wanted. And again, your pages can take you as long as you wish. Now that's going on the back. I'm going to stick that down, so I don't want anything on there. But I just want something on there. I know it's the first page, so let's have hello. See, I was suddenly thinking of a Lionel Richie song then. But the good thing is I can't sing, so you're all right. I won't do any singing. I could say, is there anybody there, couldn't I? Or even Eric's side at that. Right. Put those away. We'll file those over there. And what I'm thinking is, now you could use one of your hinge clips, look, to keep this closed. But I think that would be quite bulky in my book. I tend to have them on the outside. So what I'm wondering is about my threads. Now, I have to say with my threads, look, I have got these tassels. I have been collecting just about every colour going. But I'm thinking the orange one. So let's have a look in here. And let's choose that's more brown. About so if I want it behind, and what I'm thinking is if we put that there and we just tie that. So if I cut that, let's see. And you could have a couple, you could have 2 or 3 colours, but I'm thinking let's just go for the orange. And then my idea is, and in fact I'm going to use my red liner tape because this tends to be a much stronger tape, doesn't it? So let's add it to the back. And we'll put another couple of pieces on. And I'm just going to put one right. I've overshot that a bit, so let's just get rid of that. Sticks to everything though, doesn't it? The hardest bit with this is peeling these back pieces off. I hope you've got a brew, something to occupy yourself while I peel these off. But you're glad I only put 3 on, aren't you? Come on. I mean, it is good stuff. It's a good job, isn't it? Right, last one. She says, come on, come to mummy. There we go. And I know it's good stuff, but I'm just going to add a little bit of my BB glue as well. And let's just check we've got this the right way up. And we'll add that there. Now the good thing is I have got room, look, should I wish, because again, like I was saying, you don't have to complete every bit to do with these in a go. So I can add little bits here. And if I want, I can decorate this side as well. But for now, I'm just going to tie myself a little bow. There we go. And have that there. Now, this isn't quite tacky yet. So maybe we'll add. So I've got my secret garden sign. Now we did this when we did our journal page, and what I'm wondering is, I think that might just go nicely there. Just with a little bit of grass underneath. And that'll tie that together. So we'll stick that in. I do hope you're enjoying doing your journals. I have to say, those of you that have shared pictures on them in our group, in our Lavinia for You group, you've been doing fabulous pieces of work, absolutely beautiful. And it's lovely because we all do things differently, which is what it should be, because it's your journal. I will pop this in here. And so I've just got my lovely sparkly Posca pen. So I'm just going to add some dots of the Posca around the seed heads. Again, just to give a bit of something. I think it's a great excuse to go mad if you like your sparkle. And I'm just going to add a few flicks. And over this side. Right, I think that's getting tacky, so let's see. And all I want to do is add my gilding flakes here. And then for me, that's my page done. I think that will just be a beautiful but simple. And I love the colours. And I have to say, honestly, you're going to have some great fun with these little books. So let's get our gilding flakes and see. Like I said, I tend to do mine in a tray. Now, do bear with me, because if this isn't quite tacky, I may have to leave it. but I'm hoping it will be tacky enough to show you. So just before I put my hands in, I'm just going to put my anti-static bag, just to stop the static of the flakes. It won't stick to my fingers as much. And let's just see if we can get some. Wow, look at that piece. That's huge. It's a sign of a good quality flake. You want them to start off very large, because as you use them, you'll get smaller pieces and smaller pieces to put back. So the bigger they are in the beginning. And I have to say, unlike the alcohol ink videos, my window is firmly closed. Right, I'm going to pop some of this back because I overdid it with those big pieces. And let's just have a look how we're doing here. I'm just going to give it a bit of a rub, and I think this colour goes beautifully with the colours that I used on my sign. So I'm just going to get a few more bits here, especially the larger bits. I mean, I'll pop them in my tray and tip the smaller bits back in, but the larger bits I can actually... And I must admit, at this point, I tend to put the lid back on, just in case I was going to cough or sneeze. And just with my hand, I just burnish and just try and get all those bits that are left. Now, there's one bit there, just on the edge of this star, that doesn't look quite tacky enough. So I have got my quickie glue pen here, and I'm just hoping if I just catch that with my quickie glue pen, maybe I can get the flakes just to stick on that last little bit. I mean, it's in your journal, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I am a bit of a perfectionist, so there we go. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tip my journal up slightly, and I'm going to use this little scrubby. You can use a brush. I'm just funny, I just adore my Lavinia brushes that much that I just can't bring myself to using one for my flakes. But that's me, and that's just something funny about me. But what this does is it takes away any loose flake, but also it burnishes, because after all, these are metal flakes, so it'll make them shine more. And that, all those bits will go back into there. And if I just want to move that out of there for the minute, and then look at that. If I just tip it so you can see. Now, you can leave it at this stage if you want, but me being me, I just want to highlight my stars a little. But as I say, you can leave yours. I just think I've become a bit obsessed with this black pen, to be fair. But try, we've got so many fabulous stencils that the gilding flakes and the glue. But have a go, have a play. I have found myself the words are quite tricky. They can almost smudge a little if you put too much glue through. But I'll show you, I had to go in my small journal, because for me that is all about playing and having a try. But yeah, for me, I just want... I'm just going to go around my garden sign, just for that continuity of those. So I've got my shooting stars, look. Like I say, if I just tilt it, can you see that shine? Fabulous, isn't it? Absolutely fabulous. And I was going to call that done, but it needs something here. So I think I'm just going to go back And I've got a lovely word friends here. And for me, that's just exactly what I need. And I'm going to put that there. Yeah, and that for me just fills that, and it gives me that space and that direction across. So as I say, those ones were the jewel, and that's Olivia, and here she is, look, in her lovely secret garden with a gorgeous little book which we can add to. Now I did promise I'd show you my smaller journal, which I had a play, and I had to go at the stars, and somewhere I have there we go. I had to go at the key, had a little play at the key, and also the word happiness. Now I actually went round mine in my black pen as well, and again it was just on a background from when I've been cleaning my stencil. So lots of things you can do, lots of ways you can have a play. So if I leave you with those pages, like I say, I'm so sorry, it's just not that easy to see. Tell you what, we'll have that one because we've seen Olivia. Sorry, but you're going to have to go over there. So you take care, everybody. And tomorrow, I've got another YouTube planned for you, and something a bit different this time to add to our journal. But I must admit, I'm really enjoying this. All the different things that we can do. So now we've got gilding flakes in, what's going to be next? Maybe grunge paste. Who knows? But we need to keep experimenting. We need to keep adding things into these pages. Thank you as always. Honestly, your friendship and support means so much. You take care, everybody. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.